Hi, I'm Tom Lu. Today, I'm in the Canyonlands National Park. The Canyonlands National Park is located in the southeast of Utah. Utah is a landlocked state in the western United States. Known for its geological diversity, Utah is filled with natural wonders: mountains, forests, deserts, and canyons, making it a paradise for outdoor adventure. In the next few days, we will explore the Canyonlands National Park in Utah, its beautiful landscape, and the geological features. On May 24, 2024, I embarked on a road trip from Dallas, Texas to Moab, Utah, a total distance of 1,000 miles. Moab is a town in the southeast of Utah. It's a gateway to two national parks in the region, Canyonlands National Park and Arches National Park. Canyonlands is the one that I was going to visit. This road trip put my Tesla Model Y into good use. It is the second national park that I visited by driving my Tesla. With the latest FSD or full self-drive version 12.3.6, Tesla has achieved a high degree of autonomous driving and feels more like human driving. Driving on the mountain roads in the western United States is quite challenging. In this trip, Tesla FSD handled various road conditions very well. Utah is a state of geological diversity and natural beauty. The state is part of three distinct geological zones: the Colorado Plateau, the Rocky Mountains, and the Great Basin. The terrain, flora, and fauna are diverse as well. Due to this incredible topographic diversity, Utah offers a variety of recreational activities and is home to 5 national parks, 43 state parks, 7 national monuments, 2 national recreation areas, and 1 historic site, a myriad cultural opportunities. The quintessential American road trip lies in Utah's 28 beautiful scenic byways. Utah State Highway 313 and the 211 are the 2 scenic byways that lead to the 2 entrances at the Canyonlands National Park: the island in the sky from the north and the Needles from the south. I took Highway 211 on the first day. Highway 211 begins near Church Rock, a notable rock formation along U.S. Route 191 between Moab and Monticello. The road features a steep descent and several sharp curves. The entire length of the Highway 211 is breathtaking and has been designated the Indian Creek Corridor Scenic Byway. It passes through numerous historic sites and geological marvels. The panoramic view by the road includes 2 isolated sandstone buttes called North Six Shooter and South Six Shooter. These spires were named by the early cowboys for their resemblance to pistols. When the lightning hit one of these buttes, the name seemed especially suitable as it appeared to fire a shot into the air. Newspaper Rock is an archaeological site by Highway 211. It is a petroglyph panel etched in sandstone that records approximately 2,000 years of early human activity. Prehistoric people, probably from archaic, basket maker, Fremont, and the Pueblo cultures, etched on the rock from BC time to AD 1300. In interpreting the figures on the rock, scholars are undecided as to their meaning or have yet to decipher them. In Navajo, the rock is called rock that tells a story. The figures could represent storytelling, doodling, human magic, clan symbols, ancient graffiti, or something else. Canyonlands National Park was established in 1964. In the early 1950s, Bates Wilson, then superintendent of Arches National Monument, began exploring the area to the south and the west of Moab, Utah. After seeing what is now known as the Needle District of Canyonlands National Park, Wilson began advocating for the establishment of a new national park that would include the Needles. Additional explorations by Wilson and others expanded the area proposed for inclusion into the new national park to include the confluence of Green and the Colorado rivers, the Maze District, and the Horseshoe Canyon. In 1961, Secretary of the Interior Stuart Udall was scheduled to address the conference at Grand Canyon National Park. On his flight to the conference, he flew over the confluence of Colorado and the Green Rivers. The view apparently sparked Udall's interest in Wilson's proposal for a new national park in that area, and Udall began promoting the establishment of Canyonlands National Park. In September 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed a law which established the Canyonlands National Park as a new national park. Bates Wilson became the first superintendent of the new national park and is often referred to as the father of Canyonlands. Canyonlands preserves a wilderness of rock at the heart of Colorado Plateau. Water and gravity, this land's prime architects, cut flat layers of sedimentary rock into hundreds of canyons, mesas, buttes, fins, arches, and spires. At center stage are two canyons carved by the Green and the Colorado rivers. Looking from afar, it's like the earth crust was torn relentlessly by giant forces. Soak up the wilderness of the West by visiting the mighty red canyon walls, mesas, and the buttes that soar thousands of feet. The magnificent landscapes create lasting memories. Here, surrounded by wind-sculpted sandstone, our minds open. Here, tracing ancient layers of sediment, we feel hopeful for our future. The desert is a land of contrast and contradiction. Within its desolate beauty, our spirit soars. The Canyonlands National Park consists of 4 districts: the island in the sky, the Needles, the Maze, and the rivers. This is the island in the sky. It's called the island in the sky because this area is 1,000 feet above the surrounding terrain. Wilderness is a word of many meanings. From a place to be feared to a place to be revered. Wilderness evokes images of wild animals, jagged mountains, vast prairies and deserts. For some, wilderness offers physical challenges, solitude, or respite from a complex technological society. On September 3, 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Wilderness Act, which legally defined the wilderness as an area where the earth and its community of life are untrammeled by man, where man himself is a visitor who does not remain. Just 9 days later, on September 12, 1964, President Johnson signed the legislation establishing Canyonlands National Park. The island in the sky is a massive mesa sitting on sheer sandstone cliffs over 1,000 feet above the surrounding terrain. Every overlook offers a different perspective on Canyonland's spectacular landscape. Breathtaking panoramic views of deep canyons, towering mesas, rugged rock formations. Mesa Arch is one of the most iconic landmarks in Canyonlands National Park's Island in the Sky district. This natural arch spans across a canyon rim, creating a stunning frame for the landscape beyond. It's particularly famous for the spectacular sunrise views seen through the arch when the first rays of light illuminate the canyon walls below. The Mesa Arch Trail is a short and a relatively easy hike leading to this natural wonder. The trail is about 0.5 miles round trip and offers incredible views of the surrounding canyons and the mesas around the way. Photographers flock to Mesa Arch to capture its beauty during sunrise as the sun rises behind the arch, creating a breathtaking scene of light and shadow. Beyond its photographic allure, Mesa Arch is also a great spot for simply enjoying the beauty and tranquility of Canyonlands National Park and experience the magic of Utah's rugged landscapes. This is the Grand Viewpoint in the Canyonlands National Park, 6,000 feet above the sea level. The Grand Viewpoint overlook in Canyonlands National Park offers one of the most breathtaking panoramic vistas in the entire park. Situated at the southern tip of the island in the Sky Mesa, this viewpoint provides visitors with sweeping views of the vast canyons and the distant mountain ranges that define the landscapes of southeastern Utah. La Salle Mountains, located 35 miles northeast of here, near the Colorado border. The highest peak is Mount Peel, elevation 12,721 feet. White Rim Sandstone, a hard layer of white sandstone that forms a sharply defined rim above the lower level canyons. Made of ancient coastal sand dunes, the white rim lies about 1,300 feet below. The Colorado River Canyon is cut by the Colorado River so deeply that it's not visible from here. Before 1921, the portion of the Colorado River above the Green River was known as the Grand River, hence the name Grand Viewpoint. Monument Basin is a vertical fractures in the sandstone. They have caused the rock to erode into steep-sided walls, columns, and pinnacles. This is the upheaval dome in the Canyonlands National Park. It is believed that 200 million years ago, a meteor flew from outer space, struck this region, and created this crater. Upheaval dome is a mystery. The rock layers below my feet are fractured and tilted, forming a circular depression more than 2 miles wide. Scientists have debated for decades on how it formed. There are 2 prominent theories. One, a salt dome that cracked and tilted rock over time. About 300 million years ago, a salty inland sea covered the area. A large basin trapped the sea, which then evaporated, leaving behind thousands of feet of salt. Wind and water deposited more sediment, pushing down the soft salt layer and causing it to dome upwards. Over time, the salt rose, fracturing and distorting the rock layers in its path. Water eroded and overlying settlement, exposing the distorted crater visible today. The second theory is an instantaneous meteorite impact. About 200 million years ago, a meteor hurtled toward the Earth. The meteor hit the ground with so much force, it vaporized on impact. The force of the impact fractured the rock, creating a large crater. Rock layers rebounded inward and upward to fill the void. Erosion exposed the tilted, broken core of the impact site. There are 2 overlooks around Upheaval Dome. A 0.6-mile trail leads to the first overlook. An additional 0.6 hike will lead you to the second overlook. My visit to Upheaval Dome in Canyonlands National Park provided me with a glimpse to the ancient past of the Earth through colorful, yet silent layers of rocks on a stunning geological site. This is not only just a sightseeing trip in an American national park, but also a journey of scientific discovery and the learning of our own planet. This is Castle Valley in Utah. It's called the Castle Valley because these rocks behind me look like castles in Europe. We're going to take a closer look at these castles. Castle Valley is a picturesque region located in southeastern Utah, near the town of Moab. The valley is renowned for its stunning red rock formations, towering cliffs, and the dramatic desert landscapes. The valley is characterized by unique geological formations shaped by millions of years of erosion and geological processes. The red rock formations and the cliffs are typical of the Colorado Plateau region, creating a striking contrast against the blue sky. Castle Valley has historical significance as it was inhabited by Native American tribes such as Fremont people centuries ago. Later, it became a site of exploration and a settlement by European Americans during the westward expansion. Due to its stunning scenery, Castle Valley has been featured in several films, contributing to its recognition and popularity as a scenic destination. National Scenic Byway 128, often referred to simply as Route 128, is a scenic highway in the western United States. Route 128 is located in the states of Utah and Colorado, primarily running through southeastern Utah. The highway begins northeast of Moab, a town in Utah, and follows the Colorado River southward. It passes through the beautiful Castle Valley and the Fisher Towers area, with stunning geological formations and the views of the river. It is designated as a National Scenic Byway due to its exceptional scenic qualities, offering breathtaking views of the Red Rock Cliffs, the Colorado River, and the desert landscapes. The Colorado River, a significant river in the southwestern United States, originated in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. It comes from the meltwater in the mountain at high elevation. The river carved the Grand Canyon in its path. It's joined by hundreds of tributaries in downstream. The river is crucial for irrigation in the region, supporting agriculture in states like California and Arizona. It also provides water for 40 million American people and a vital economy and industry in the American Southwest. Approximately 1,450 miles long, it flows through Colorado, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, California, and finally enters Mexico. The river's scenic value is also widely recognized. Its reservoirs are popular for recreational activities such as boating, fishing, and rafting, drawing millions of visitors every year. The river has a rich history, having played a crucial role in the development of the American Southwest, from Native American cultures to the exploration and settlement by Europeans. The Colorado River is not only a vital water source, but also an American national symbol of beauty, adventure, and the challenges that need to be explored. This is the Needles District in Canyonlands National Park. It's a less visited district. It's called Needles because this area features colorful sandstone spires. If you travel to the southwest of the United States, you will see many mesas. If you live there, you know all about the amazing natural beauty that can be found throughout the area. Mesa is a Spanish and Italian word that translates to table in English. It can also refer to a highland plateau with steep sides. Mesas are fascinating and unique landforms which are particularly common in the southwestern United States, and they don't exist elsewhere across the country. Early Spanish explorers were intrigued by the many tall landforms with wide flat tops and steep sides that they came across. They called them mesas. As a geological feature, A mesa is an isolated flat-top elevation, ridge or hill, which is bounded from all sides by steep escarpments and stands distinctively above a surrounding plain. Mesas characteristically consist of flying soft sedimentary rocks, capped by a more resistant layer or layers of harder rock. In many areas, the top of a mesa might be a thick layer of a cooled and hardened lava. The Needles Overlook in southeastern Utah sits on the mesa. The Needles Overlook is located about 22 miles off Highway 191 on Road 133. Everyone who has been taken out there has been completely blown away by the scenery. Imagine sitting 1,600 feet above the Canyonlands. The Needles Overlook offers nearly 360-degree views of the sandstone structures that line your horizon view, intricate formations and the geological features that make Canyonlands a unique destination for nature lovers and photographers alike. Experience serenity, as you will most likely have the whole place to yourself. Wilson Arch is a natural sandstone arch in southeastern Utah, just off U.S. Route 191, 24 miles south of Moab. It has a span of 91 feet and a height of 46 feet. It is visible from the road to the east. Wilson Arch was named after Joe Wilson, a local pioneer who had a cabin nearby in Dry Valley. This formation is known as Entrada sandstone. Over time, superficial cracks, joints, and folds of these layers were saturated with water. Ice formed in the fissures, melted under extreme desert heat, and the winds cleaned out the loose particles. A series of freestanding fins remained. Wind and water attacked these fins until, in some, cementing material gave way and the chunks of rock tumbled out. Many damaged fins collapsed, like the one to the right of Wilson Arch. Others, with the right degree of hardness, survived despite their missing center, like Wilson Arch. Utah has the greatest number of natural arches in the United States. There are over 6,000 natural arches in Utah. Hence, Utah is dubbed Archland. Corona Arch is a natural rock arch near Moab, Utah. It's part of the Colorado River Corridor and is known for its impressive size and shape, making it a popular destination for hikers and photographers alike. The Corona Arch Trail, a moderately strenuous 1.5-mile hiking trail, leads visitors to the spectacular Corona Arch. The trail was designated as a National Recreation Trail in 2018. There are a few sections of the trail with mild exposure to heights. However, these sections include cables and ladders to assist you. Along the way, hikers are treated with panoramic views of the Colorado River, nearby rock formations, and the desert landscape. Corona Arch has a span of 140 feet and rises 105 feet above the ground. It has a distinctive horseshoe shape, resembling a corona or crown, hence its name. Corona is a Spanish word, meaning crown in English. The surrounding landscape is characterized by red sandstone cliffs and a desert terrain, typical of the Colorado Plateau region. Corona Arch is a favorite subject for photographers, especially during sunrise and sunset, when the light accentuates its natural beauty. Arches in Utah form through a combination of factors, including erosion and weathering, tectonic forces, and the type of rock. Rainwater dissolves calcite in Entrada sandstone, a porous rock with spherical grains, and it breaks down the rock over millions of years. This process is called chemical weathering. In the winter, water trapped in the cracks expands and contracts when it freezes, which also helps pry the rock apart. Wind and frost are also agents of erosion in Utah's arid climate. The lava-mined orogeny, which occurred 70 million years ago, warped the geological columns in the area, creating anticlines, which unfolded a structure with arch-like shape. The sandstone domes in Utah are remnants of a layer deposited on top of salt beds. The weight of the sandstone caused the salt to liquefy and push up, fracturing the sandstone into parallel strips. Groundwater later dissolved the salt deposits, causing the sandstone domes to collapse and weather into vertical rock slabs called the fins. Sections of these walls eventually wall through, creating arches. Corona Arch remains a captivating natural wonder in Utah, drawing outdoor enthusiasts from around the world to experience its grandeur and the surrounding desert landscape. Utah Highway 211, also known as Indian Creek Scenic Byway, beginning 14 miles north of Monticello at the junction with U.S. Highway 191. The route crosses a high sage plain before plunging through a series of tight turns to Newspaper Rock Recreation Site. Newspaper Rock is covered with petroglyphs, inscribed by the people who inhabited this area hundreds of years ago. From this point, Indian Creek Scenic Byway traverses beautiful Indian Creek Canyon. The road continues 23 miles to the Needles district of Canyonlands National Park. Driving down Indian Creek Corridor Scenic Byway en route to the Needles district, I kept having to pull over to admire the scenery. I was mesmerized by the majestic red rock cliffs rising distinctively from the desert and soaring into the blue sky. When you make a turn, you will see an array of colorful mesas and buttes sculpted by wind and water for millions of years, dotted with bushes, trees, and grasslands. The whole experience of driving through this open land is a visual feast and absolutely captivating. The landscape everywhere away from the rivers is of rock. Cliffs of rock, tables of rock, plateaus of rock, terraces of rock, cracks of rock. John Wesley Powell, 1875. John Wesley Powell was an American Civil War soldier who later became a geologist. He is famous for his expedition to American West in 1869 and documented what he saw. As Powell noted, Canyonlands' dominant landscape is of bare rock, with the heavens for a ceiling. But fine grassy meadows, ancient piña and juniper forests, rippling pools, and powerful rivers are here also. Tiny rock crevices harbor microscopic life, intricately tied to larger species. The first humans known to visit Canyonlands were Paleo-Indians, who searched for large game animals and edible plants as long as 10,000 years ago. In the high desert, pockets of moisture harbor life. Cracks, fissures in bare rock and shallow basins collect water, supporting the growth of cryptobiotic soil crust, a living soil. Flower, shrubs, and trees like juniper, piña, and gamble oak grow at the base of rock walls where runoff collects. Also, water seeping from rock walls supports hanging gardens, one of the rarest desert plant communities. Ferns, cave primrose, and scarlet monkeyflower are sometimes found lining canyon seeps and springs. In moist alcoves and along the cracks of some canyon walls, seeps and springs support lush plant growth. Water percolating through porous sandstone is sometimes blocked by impervious layers of rock where it moves sideways, eventually seeping out into the cliff face. Plants root in resulting seeps and springs for hanging gardens. Over hundreds of millions of years, this area has undergone some dramatic changes as the North American continent slowly drifted away from the equator. What is now Canyonlands was flooded by oceans, crisscrossed by rivers, covered in mud, and buried by sand. The canyons in Canyonlands National Park consist of multiple sandstone layers. In front of you, you can see the Colorado River as it cuts its way through multiple sandstone layers. These sandstone layers visible from here are Navajo, Kenyatta, Wingate, Chinle, Mokobe, and Cutler. These layers were deposited here from 225 to 195 million years ago. 4 or 5 million years ago, the Green and the Colorado rivers began carving into the rock layers, exposing buried sediments and creating the canyons of Canyonlands. The magnificent landscape has been revealed by the relentless downcutting of the Colorado and the Green rivers. Consider the amount of soil and rock that has been removed by the rivers in this relatively brief period of geologic time. Nature has a way to nourish our body and soul. Wilderness has a way to teach us what it means to be humans. My visit to Canyonlands National Park was treated with a colorful landscape with millions of years of geologic history. Giant mesas, soaring buttes, multi-layered canyons. The mighty Colorado River not only showcased the extraordinary beauty of American Southwest, but also tells stories about the history and culture of the ancestors once lived on this land.